everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you part 1 of this crochet blanket pattern. Parts 2 and 3 will be coming out in the next few weeks. If you'd like to see all the videos immediately, you can purchase the PDF pattern and you'll find the link below in the description. It's also fine if you just want to watch the video tutorials. You'll just have to wait for parts 2 and 3 coming soon. I'd love a like and subscribe to my channel to show your support for my work. Now, you can find all the materials and details for this pattern below in the description. The pattern has more detail with written and photo instructions. Now, let's get started. Okay, let's get started making the first 2 rounds of this motif, the pink section there. So the first thing you need to do is tie a knot around your hook, and then you're going to chain 4. So let's just change 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to do a slip stitch to join that into a loop like that. And then what we're going to do is chain 6. So the first 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, this is going to count as the first double crochet, and then the second chain 3 is like the bit in between the other double crochets. So you've got chain 6, and then you're going to work a double crochet into that ring that you just made. So double crochet 1, and then between each double crochet you're just going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and you're going to repeat this 4 more times. So you're going to have 6 in total. So let's do that together. So double crochet into the ring, and you can see my ring's pretty small. You do want it pretty tight. You can do a magic ring instead if you like. I just find that the chains and slip stitch hold a bit better long term for blankets. That's why I do that. Chain 3, and then just keep repeating this until you have a total of 6, including the first chain 3 as 1. So you're only doing 5 double crochets. Now I'm just going to move that camera a little, and let's do another one. How you going? Keeping up? I'm working pretty slowly, so it's quite easy. So how many have I got now? I've got, counting the first chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then chain 3. So chain 3 in between all of those. And then we're doing the final double crochet into my rather tight middle ring there. It's better to be tight, it's going to look better in the end. And then final chain 3, and then what I'm going to do is count 1, 2, 3 and put a slip stitch to join that. So we now have that little circle. Quite a cute little circle. All right, so round 2, you're going to chain 5. So we're going to do the kind of the petal bit, which is pretty easy, sort of like the petal of this flower. So chain 5, 1, everything on camera goes a bit weird, sorry, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to skip the first chain and do a single crochet into the second chain. So skip the first one, single crochet into the second chain, and then you're doing it in order of the height of the stitches. So the next one is going to be a half double crochet into the following chain. Very slowly. And then you're doing a double crochet into the second last chain, and you can see we're kind of making this petal. You'll see it better in a minute. And then you're going to do a triple crochet when you put the hook yarn over twice, triple crochet, and then pull it through 3 times, through 2 stitches 3 times. So now you can see you've got a little triangle, and you're going to skip that 3 chain there and just put a slip stitch into the top of the next double crochet. So we've got our first little petal. Looks a bit odd at the moment, but it does get better. Then next, again, we're going to do chain 5 to make another petal. And it does actually continue in the same way. I'll do one more for you, but in total you're going to do 6 petals in the same way. Chain 5, skip 1 to do a single crochet in the second stitch, half double crochet into the third stitch, double crochet into the fourth stitch, and treble crochet into the final stitch there to make the widest part of the petal. And of course I am using US terms, don't forget, which are slightly different than the UK terms, and I won't go into an explanation now because I often do, but I will not this time. You're going to skip those 3 chain there and then slip stitch into the next double crochet. So now you've got 2 petals. So I'm going to get you, if you need to go back and repeat and watch that again, it's the same thing. You're going to do 4 more petals, and then I'll meet you at the end to talk about our finished first section, this little motif of the little flower. Okay, here we are now. Hopefully you've now made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 petals, and we're right back to the start, and you just into that first part there where it starts, you're just putting your hook in and again pulling through a slip stitch, and then you're just going to use your scissors to fasten off the yarn. And I usually, but I actually didn't this time, but usually at the start I tend to cover over that bit of yarn there, but you can do it either way. You can cover it as you do your double crochets, or you can just weave it in at the end. And I just kind of, I'm probably not the most thorough person in the world when it comes to weaving in, so just get your tapestry needle through as many stitches as you can. Some people go up and down. I'm a bit slack and I just put it through, and then I'll pull it through like that. If there's any sticking out, sometimes I cut it off, and just weave in both of your ends. Where's my other end? Here. And so you might want to, if you're going to do it, let me do it properly since I'm being an example here, but you do want it to stay in because it is a blanket. So I would probably do it like this, up one way and then going back the other way and the other way again. So that makes it the most secure. If you're doing it sort of up and down a little, that end will never come out. And then maybe one more. And then if there's still a bit of an end, I'd probably chop that little bit of an end off because we've sewed it in fairly thoroughly there. Chop that off. And there we go. We've got our first beginning of our blanket. Now you're going to make literally about hundreds of these. Doesn't take long, so you can do a little motif in a few minutes. And then in the next video, I'll be showing you how to do these other 2 rounds here and finish off the motif. And then we'll be talking about how we join them all together to make a blanket. See you in a minute.